Hi, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. The purpose of impromptu is for us to think on our feet and speak on our feet. And of course, one thing I learned when I first became Toastmaster was that we stand up, speak up, and shut up. So, is there a timer? Or somebody can somebody volunteer to do the timing? Yes, John, thank you. We are going to have a 1-minute table topic session. And every table now hopefully has already volunteered a representative. And I'm going to pick the tables at random after I ask the question. Now, tonight's theme is anniversary. What is anniversary? Anniversary, according to the internet, is the date on which an event took place in a previous year. So that means a lot of things, a lot of dates that happen every year actually are some sort of anniversary. So I'm doing it by month. I'm looking at possible anniversaries in May. So the internet came up with quite a number of dates. One of the dates is Mother's Day. And Mother's Day is celebrated in different countries on a different day. And we just had our Mother's Day on May 11th. Now I would like to ask our speaker to tell us how he or she enjoyed Mother's Day with her friends and family this year or the years before. I would like to have table 7.
Thank you. My name is Svetlana Shlyakova and I'm from Russia. I have been in Canada 8 years and this year I have the best Mother's Day in my life. Why? Because my Chinese friend invited me to walk around Bunsen Lake. And I meet some interesting ladies from different countries, and we walking around Bunsen Lake. It's actually 3 hours. It's a challenge for me. Yeah, 3 hours. It's impossible. But then we walk around, and I say, oh, I can. On the top of a mountain, my telephone ring. Wow, who? My daughter. She called me from Toronto and say, Mother, happy Mother's Day.
Thank you, Svetlana. And I would like to ask our timer to show us how he's going to do the timing. When it is 30 seconds, you raise up one prop.
30 seconds.
Okay. 45.
45, the taller glass.
And 1 minute.
1 minute, the tallest glass.
Excellent. Now, and 1 minute, 10 seconds.
I stand up and I clap.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Now, then comes from May, this now is May, to June. One of the days that's coming is Father's Day. Father's Day traditionally seems to be not as big as Mother's Day. I don't know why. The telephone company used to have to add more lines for Mother's Day and Christmas Day, but not so much for Father's Day. Now I would like to ask the next speaker to tell us how he, hopefully it's a he, is going to, what kind of gifts. If a she is coming up, then he's going to give, right? Or receive on Father's Day. I would like to call on table number 5.
All right, so I am actually blessed to have more than one dad. So Father's Day usually ends up being quite different from either of them because one is a scholar and the other is very blue collar. So, Father's Day, if it lands on a Sunday, I usually spend it with my stepdad, and we go to church together, and we usually go to A&W and have a milkshake. With my birth dad, we end up going to the museum, and I let him give me a lecture on all of the art history. Recently, we went to go see the gallery of the group of 7. So there was Lauren Harris and Emily Carr, which are both famous Canadian authors. So it's kind of fun to be able to do both and have totally different aspects of it. I love both of them dearly. I don't really have a lot of money to give them those kind of things, but the experiences are what matter. So that's my Father's Day.
Now, from June, it's July. And July, there's a day that happens every year, July 1st, is what?
Canada Day.
Canada Day. It's our great country. So the next speaker is going to speak to a group of people who are visiting Canada. And he or she is going to tell the group what a wonderful country is all about and what do we have. I would like to call upon table number 9. Oh, there is no 9. Okay, number 8 then. Welcome, Adam.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Adam. I come from Lebanon. I get a chance to live in Switzerland, finish my university, and then I moved to Vancouver, to Canada, the best place on earth. As much as I have good feeling for my home country, I do love this country, Canada. I do appreciate. I immigrated here, of course. I do appreciate everything what's offering for the people, and that's gives me the chance to compare between Canada and Lebanon. If the government back home can learn from here, and if they do just half what the government do for the people in Canada, we will have also second best place on earth. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Adam. This is a great country. Thank you, Adam. From July, we get to August. In August, what happens every year? We've got a long weekend, and it's BC Day. Now, I would like to ask the next speaker to tell us how he or she is going to spend with her friends or family for that long weekend. I would like to ask table number 2.
All right. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, ordinary guests, and the speaker, if he hasn't left yet, I can see him. BC Day, cannot say that it's something special to me. Sorry to disappoint. I actually like the previous topics about the Canada Day. That was fun. I was thinking, what did I do last year? And last year I was actually single, so I was invited to a boat party. We had 4 big boats strapped together. We cooked, we swam, and we had some people from the US come over who didn't know much about Canada, typical US people. So we were telling them all about Canada Day, and they were partying up with us, and we were lounging on the boats, and it was a lot of fun. So that's what happened last time. The sad part is that in a freak accident, both gentlemen are dead now, but what it did make me think about when I met them and then afterwards as well was that we're really lucky to live in Canada, that we're really happy to be celebrating with us, and that life is short. So, not to end on a somber note, but be happy, be merry, and like the gentleman, the speaker today said, make sure you look at the runway and try to elongate it. Maybe don't do motorcycles.
Thank you, Vera. That's wonderful. Wonderful way of spending, and also very encouraging. Now, come September, we're coming to something more serious, because when comes September, it's very difficult to forget about September 11th. And as ordinary citizens, we feel that the world has changed a lot since September 11th, that year. And we're ordinary citizens, and I don't think I can do something really earth-shattering for world peace. But as an ordinary person, we each can do our little part. Now I would like to ask our next person to tell us what he or she is doing just to make the world a better place. Table number 6, please.
Fellow Toastmasters, guest, our incoming District 96 Governor, what am I doing to make this world a better place? Well, every day when I wake up, I think of what's possible. What is possible? There's so many things that are difficult and crazy and an incredible waste of time, but I believe that as long as you're doing the right thing for the right reasons, every single day, that you can truly make a difference in this world. So what I'm doing to make the world a better place is I'm putting together the best of the best knowledge that I can into a program that I'm going to roll out for the Los Angeles Police Department, which is going to roll out across the US, hopefully into Canada, into Australia, and 2 years from now you will see me on the international speaking circuit. And I will be changing lives, I will be changing companies, and I will be making a difference in families, in groups, and in individuals.
Wonderful, Carol. All the best. Wonderful. After September is October. And in October, what's happening every year is a 1 day of long weekend, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was tradition set for us to be thankful for the harvest. That was how it was set up. And I think that's part of the reason why our Thanksgiving is in October, and the States, because they have a longer growing season, so it's in November. Now I would like to ask the next person to tell us all the things that he or she wants to be thankful for, and everything else, whatever's happening, life is so good for them. I would like to have table 1. Do we have a table 1?
Madam Table Topics Master, thank you so much. Telespeakers, I am honored to now be a member of your club, thanks to Bill, who sweet-talked me at the table, bought me a book. How could I resist? So now I am a telespeaker and a Club 59er. Wow. I might even get a tattoo. Congratulations on your 50th anniversary. May there be 50 more. What would I do? What would I give thanks for in Thanksgiving? I feel Thanksgiving reminds me of 2 things. One is the opportunity to think of others, to give thanks for the others in your life, the others who elevate you, who give you feedback, who play with your kids, who care about you, who help you when you're in need, to give thanks for peace and safety in our country, for the people who gave birth to the ideal of Canada. Thanksgiving is a reminder to step outside of me into that. The second thing about Thanksgiving is the big old turkey in the pig out. On that note, thank you so much for this opportunity, and don't let it down.
that I would have to say for all of us here in our lives, there's so many things that we can be thankful for. And we are all having a good life. From October, become November. In November, we have another solemn day, Remembrance Day. It's in commemoration of the wars. Wars are actually conflict between countries. But on a smaller scale, we're dealing with all the time conflict between people. Now I would like to ask our next speaker to tell us, in all the leadership skills that we have learned, how he or she has found ways to reduce and to resolve conflicts. I would like to call on table number 4.
Hi, Teresa. Thank you, Margaret. I would like to take the opportunity to thank my table for giving me the chance to speak up here. The question was, how do we resolve conflict in our personal lives versus conflict in war and on the political scale? In the last year or so, I've taken a keen interest in World War I, and I realized just how brutal that was. Tear gas, or poison gas, machine guns, barbed wire. Amazing trench warfare, amazing brutality. And we realized that actually in our own lives every day. And I struggle every day with how do I resolve conflict, because I love conflict. I am an American, by the way, and I'm very comfortable with confronting people. Others aren't so comfortable with that, and it's not always constructive. And I've actually become kind of a trained facilitator, but it's still really difficult. And so every day, or every time, I try to think about being compassionate towards that other person. What does that other person feel? How can I put myself in that person's shoes? That's all I got.
Thank you, Teresa. It's so important to be able to put ourselves in another person's shoes, and that's really key. After November, it's December, and December was bigger than Christmas, right? I would like to ask our next speaker to let us know what is the most memorable Christmas she ever had. Have I called on that table number 3 before? Okay, table number 3. Rich.
Madam Table Topics Master, friends and guests. December 25th. When it rolls around, I turn into a 3-year-old boy. It reminds me of the time I pulled a Christmas tree down on myself in Winnipeg, Manitoba. You can smell the pine needles in the air. You can pick them out of my sweater. But for me, Christmas is a magical time that I wish would last all year round. Because we put our feelings aside, we stop even wars for Christmas. Did you know that? They've actually stopped shooting because of Christmas. I wish Christmas would last all year round. Because for me, I love those Christmas carols, all those songs. I wish we could hear Christmas carols in July, May, all year round. Because it makes me feel that I just want to just go out and open presents and eat turkey and see my friends and my family and have them over. So, Madam Table Topics Master, for me, I love Christmas.
Thank you, Rich. I love Christmas too. I think most of us do. Then comes January. January, of course, is New Year. But there's one more important thing that has happened. In 1983, actually that was the year the forerunner of the internet and changed the protocol to TCP/IP, and that is the beginning of internet we know today. It's 1983, January 1st, the protocol was changed. And now I would like to ask our next person to tell us how internet has changed his or her life. Do I have table number 6? It's already been done. So is everybody done? Oh, that table has not been done. Okay. Fred, what table number are you? Did I miss you? Hi, Fred. We are old friends. That's why I keep missing you.
Madam Table Topic Master, ladies and gentlemen. Internet, has it changed my life? Yes, it has. Why? Because I was a late comer. As a lot of you, of course, are still working, and when you've got a few minutes from doing your job, you go over and spend time on the internet. Well, I didn't have that. I used it at work, of course, and every time I would set something up on a program, it would disappear. You had that, and it worked the whole day, and the whole job disappears in the twilight zone. And you're going to try and get it back. In fact, when I retired, I thought, that's it. No more computers. I was sick and tired of them. I was using them every day. But of course, then came the world of email. Everybody said, well, if you have it on the internet, we could send you an email. So now, when I wake up in the morning, I switch the thing on, and up comes 20, sometimes 30 messages. I think I'm important.